Does your mind ever feel like a storm? A relentless whirlwind of thoughts? A silent hum of what ifs? It churns and turns, leaving you feeling exhausted, powerless. What if I told you there's an ancient secret? A way to build an unshakable fortress within your own mind. A way to find profound calm, even in the middle of chaos. We live in an age of constant noise. An age of endless input. The ping of a notification. The endless scroll. The pressure to do more, be more, achieve more. Our minds feel fragmented, pulled in a dozen directions at once. They were not built for this constant state of alert. And so, they begin to race. To overthink. We worry about the presentation tomorrow. We replay that awkward conversation from yesterday. We catastrophize about a future that hasn't happened. This isn't just stress. This is mental friction. A constant hum of anxiety that drains our energy and steals our present moment. It feels like being tossed in a raging sea. The waves are indifferent to your struggle. You try to fight them, but you only grow more tired. You feel you're losing control. But the truth is, you were never meant to control the sea. You were meant to learn how to build a better ship. So, how do we begin construction? The ancient Stoics, masters of the human mind, left us a blueprint. The first tool in this Stoic blueprint is a radical idea. This single idea, if truly understood, can act as a rudder in the storm of your life. It's called the Dichotomy of Control. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus laid it out with perfect clarity. Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. It sounds simple. Almost too simple. But our modern culture tells us the opposite. It tells us to hustle, to manifest, to bend the world to our will. And so, we pour our energy into things we can never truly command. Think of this ancient tree. For centuries, it has stood here. It cannot control the weather, the biting wind, the scorching sun, the torrential rain. Those things are external. They are not up to the tree. It does not waste a single drop of sap worrying about the coming storm. So, what is up to the tree? How deep its roots grow into the earth. How strong its trunk becomes. How it heals its own wounds. That is its domain. Its circle of power. Most of our anxiety comes from this simple mistake: we try to control the weather. We worry obsessively about what others think of us. We can't control their minds. We stress about a project's final outcome. We can only control our effort. We fear illness or aging. We can only control our healthy habits. This is not apathy. It is not resignation. It is a strategic reallocation of your most precious resource, your attention. The Stoics ask you to draw a firm line in the sand of your mind. On one side, everything you cannot control. The past. The future. Other people. On the other side, everything you can. Your thoughts today. Your actions now. your response is this very moment. This is your kingdom. And it is more than enough. When you focus your energy here, something incredible happens. The noise of the world begins to quiet. Anxiety about the external fades, because you are no longer fighting unwinnable wars. You are simply tending to your own garden, growing your own roots. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. But what about the fears that still linger inside our circle? The fear of losing what we can control. The fear of failure. The fear of loss itself. For this, the Stoics offer a second, powerful, and often misunderstood tool. It's called premeditatio malorum. The premeditation of evils. It sounds counterintuitive. Why invite darkness into our thoughts? Think of it this way, it is a psychological vaccine. You expose yourself to a small, controlled dose of a potential hardship to build immunity against it. Let's take a common fear, losing your job. Instead of letting that vague anxiety haunt you, you face it directly. In your mind's eye, you visualize it. The conversation, the empty desk, the feeling of uncertainty. You allow yourself to feel the initial shock. Then, you ask the Stoic question, what would I do next? What is within my control now? Well, I would update my resume. I would reach out to my professional network. I would create a strict budget. I would lean on my family for support. I would survive. And perhaps, I would even find a better, more fulfilling opportunity. Suddenly, the monster in the dark is not a formless terror. It has a face. And you have a plan. This practice does two remarkable things. First, it prepares you. It builds resilience. It transforms you from a victim of fate into a calm, rational problem solver. Second, and more beautifully, it makes you deeply grateful for what you have right now. When you have briefly, mentally, contemplated life without your health, every pain-free breath becomes a gift. When you have contemplated loneliness, the simple presence of a loved one feels like a miracle. It is like seeing color for the first time after living in a world of gray. You stop taking the foundations of your life for granted. It is the art of imagining the storm, so you can truly, deeply appreciate the sunshine. These principles are the pillars of the fortress. But philosophy is useless without practice. So how do we lay the first stones? Let's begin with our first practical exercise. This is more than a simple task. It is a ritual of clarification. Find a quiet space for 10 minutes. Take a pen and a piece of paper. First, take a single, deep breath. Inhale clarity. Exhale noise. Now, draw a small circle in the center of the page. This is your sacred space. Your circle of control. Inside this circle, write down everything that is truly and completely up to you. Be brutally honest. Not my success, but my effort. not their opinion of me, but to my integrity and kindness. Not my health, but to my choice to eat well and exercise today. Write down my thoughts, my actions, my responses, my perspective, my character. This is your kingdom. Now, outside of that small circle, write down everything that is currently causing you anxiety. The looming deadline, the state of the economy, a difficult colleague, a past mistake. These are the externals, the things outside of your direct command. Look at the page. This is the map of your mind. See how much precious mental energy has been leaking, spent outside your true domain. This is not meant to make you feel helpless. It is meant to empower you. You are not abandoning these outside concerns. You are simply recognizing where your power truly lies. The second part of this practice is acceptance. For each item outside the circle, say to yourself, "This is not up to me. I will do my part, and then I will let it go." Not a passive surrender, but a graceful acknowledgement of reality. Feel the weight lift from your shoulders. Whenever anxiety strikes, visualize this page. Ask yourself the liberating question: is this inside my circle? If not, gently guide your focus back to where it belongs. Back to where you are strong. Our second exercise transforms negative visualization from a scary concept into a daily habit of profound appreciation. We will call it the Stoic Gratitude Journal. Each morning, before the world rushes in, or each evening, as it quiets down, set aside 5 minutes. This is your time. Open your journal and follow 3 simple, powerful steps. Step 1. Contemplate loss. Write down one thing, just one, that you value in your life. Your ability to walk. The roof over your head. A specific person you love. Now, for just 10 seconds, calmly and deliberately, imagine it was gone. Do not wallow in this imagined grief. It is a quick, sharp visit to a possible reality, meant only to remind you that nothing is permanent. Step 2. Rehearse resilience. Beneath that, write one sentence about how you would endure this loss. What strengths would you call upon? Who would you ask for help? I would find strength in my memories. I would lean on my friends for support. This is where you remind yourself of your own hidden reserves. You are stronger than you think. Step 3. Return to gratitude. Now, the final, most important step. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And open them again to the beautiful reality that you do have this thing in your life today. Write down a sentence of deep, specific gratitude for it. I am so deeply grateful for the strength in my legs that allows me to walk freely. I am so thankful for the warmth and safety of my home. This practice, done consistently, rewires your brain. It shifts your default setting from anxiety about what you might lose to a powerful appreciation for what you have right now. It is the art of turning fear into the fuel for a richer, more present life. The storm of modern life will not cease. The winds of uncertainty will always blow. but you no longer need to be a leaf tossed in that wind. The Stoics have given us a toolkit, a compass and an anchor for the soul. With the dichotomy of control, you find your power not by conquering the world, but by mastering yourself. With negative visualization, you disarm fear, not by ignoring it, but by facing it with courage, transforming it into gratitude. You build your inner fortress, stone by stone. Not with arrogance, but with quiet, unshakable strength. This is the Stoic fix for modern anxiety. It's not a magic pill. It is a discipline, a practice, a path to freedom. While the Stoics give us a shield built on logic and the power of will, there is another path to peace. A path that does not fight the waves, but learns to flow with them. A path of gentle observation and letting go, born from Eastern wisdom. On Sunday, we will walk this path together. Join me for our next video. If you have anxiety, watch this, a Zen guide to finding inner peace. Until then, I have a question for you. Which of these two Stoic practices will you commit to trying first? The circle of control, or the Stoic gratitude journal? Share your choice in the comments below. Your journey to an unshakable mind has just begun.